you tell
Okay. Hello, everybody, and thank you for coming out and listening to the Real Shortbox Live podcast. My name is Donald, and right below me is Mr. Kevon.
Yes, Supreme Chancellor Dr. Kevin.
Oh,
How are
okay.
you this evening?
In the corner over here is Mr. Jarrett.
Pow, pow! Out there in TV land.
And directly to my right is Mr. Darren.
Vote for me.
All right.
In November?
So, as usual, I'm going to put it in the very capable hands of one of these gentlemen. Let's pick Darren tonight. We'll put it in your hands to start it off. And you guys are going to do some opening discussion while I go ahead and post some things and get everything ready.
All right, guys. So, here's the deal. This is like the 5th day in a row I've eaten chicken.
What's wrong with that?
Does it ever do anything negative to you? Have you ever eaten that much chicken in a row, guys?
Well,
You never hear anything more about chicken. It's always if you eat too much like red meat or if you eat too much fish, the mercury and all that. But no, I think you can eat as much chicken as you want.
As long as it's lean, white meat, tender chicken, especially chicken breast. That's the best part.
Why's it got to be white meat?
Well, you want to get to some people consider that the healthiest part of the chicken, I suppose. But, it's good tender meat there. Good tender meat. Now, obviously, we're offending vegetarians and vegans out there, so forgive me. But
this is a non-PETA-friendly podcast.
Well, no. Jarrett, you forgot. There's 2 PETAs.
Oh, that's right.
I mean,
the PETA for eating tasty animals, people for eating tasty animals, they love us.
I mean, well, let's be honest here, guys. Like, I mean, you guys don't get any allergy if you eat a certain food too often, or there's something that just won't sit right with you. Because I'll tell you, when I was in Mongolia for 6 weeks, I definitely reeked of mutton. You eat mutton 3 times a day, you will become the mutton. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Mutton is definitely potent.
Mm.
So what we lost a legend in the comic business, Mr.
Yes,
Denny O'Neil.
Yes.
I didn't know he wrote so many different titles. I thought he was like strictly a Batman guy. Like,
nope. And obviously, you can't forget the classic Green Lantern, Green Arrow run from the early to mid '70s.
Hard Traveling Heroes, right? That was him.
That's right. You can't forget that.
To me, if you look at like the history of Batman, he was the first writer to make him the Dark Knight, so to speak. Like he brought in the kind of real world drama. He was one of the guys who started making the villains kind of more human crazy. Like he brought a whole darkness and a humanity to Batman that wasn't there. And
Frank Miller would piggyback on that in the '80s.
Completely. Frank Miller was like the boom of it, but to me, I think he's responsible for changing the tone of Batman to what everybody knows and loves.
What he did was God rest his soul, because we love this guy, but he had to kind of Adam West the character. You know what I mean?
Too campy.
Yeah, too campy. Again, we love Adam West. God bless him. God rest his soul. But we had to kind of get him back to his roots.
But the cool thing is they brought back those kind of cheesy golden age villains and then modernized them to make them like as creepy as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. Denny O'Neil was solid. I think he wrote on Batman for years too. I think at least off and on, because I'm pretty sure he wrote a lot of the No Man's Land stuff, and I know he was writing stuff way before that.
Oh yeah.
Should I save this for later, or you want me to show this now?
Is it your penis?
Come on now.
Naturally, we want to see it right now, sir.
Oh, hey, by the way, real quick, Kevin, before you get into it, Maria says howdy to everybody.
Hi, Miss Maria. How you doing? Hope you're feeling better.
And Sir Evan, we're going to knight you. You're going to be now forever known as Sir Evan, because it just sounds cool. Sir Evan, a.k.a. Black Rook 7, has said, hey-o. So,
hey, Evan.
Hey, right back at you.
Better, brother. Hope you're healing up there, brother.
All right, Kevin, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So I wanted to show off, since Dr. Jarrett brought up Denny O'Neil. I figured I'd show the CGC signed copy of Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams of the classic Green Lantern 76.
Oh, yeah.
Neil Adams, I know that guy.
Yes, we interviewed him a while back.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful classic cover. I mean, beautiful cover. I mean, you can't go wrong here. I mean, the green.
Speaking of Neil Adams, I wasn't paying attention if you said it, but it's his birthday today.
No, we didn't. Yeah.
So
it's his too.
Happy birthday to Neil Adams, everybody.
All right.
Fellow Gemini.
Yep.
Fellow Gemini.
Yes, you made sure to bring that up in the podcast when we interviewed him.
Of course, I did. He's in good company.
Your birthday's in June. Mine is too.
He's also a fellow New Yorker. So what do you say about me? Or you must be a wise ass too, right? I'm like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain Neil is 80 today.
Yes.
Yes. He is.
Really?
The big 8-0. The big 8-0.
The big 8-0, and the man has the energy of a 35-year-old.
Yeah, and and of course, because we are such finely refined gentlemen, he has stepped into the octogenarian stage of his life.
Yeah. Also, a quick shout out to his comic shop in Burbank, California, Krusty Bunkers Comics. They sell some toys there too. They do gaming. It's a real nice shop, guys. So if you get a chance, you're in the Burbank, California area, stop on by Krusty Bunkers.
Yeah, always important to visit your comic shops during these unusual times for retail businesses.
Looks like we lost Jarrett, but he'll be back.
He'll be back.
He always is.
Yeah, it's true.
Not to jump into it quite yet, but I sense we're going to be having a rather outstanding finale this evening.
Oh, I see it too.
A very gory finale.
I have written down what I think is some of my finest work. So,
oh, really?
I'm excited for this. We have contenders. We have chicken tenders. We have all kinds of stuff. We got nugs, Maria. We got nugs. So, soy-free.
Stuff.
Soy-free nugs.
Yes, we, of course, will be doing the finale of our Sidekick Smackdown tournament. This will be the end, all be all, as we have spent a grueling month on this topic.
Preparing for this moment.
So I just want to make sure that all other people who are going to view this podcast, we are the podcast that is actually paying attention to the Sidekick. Too much? Maybe. But in our eyes, it's never enough.
Never.
We never want to ignore the Sidekick, no matter how significant or insignificant they are.
Hey,
we are very pro Sidekick.
Everybody, my mom says that she found us, so she was looking for us online. She found us. So everybody say hello to my mom.
Hi, Miss Mom.
Aloha.
Hi, Mom.
I'm Donald's mom.
So we will be in Sidekick Alley once again this evening. And also, too, right after we finish our Sidekick Smackdown, we might have a special little treat for you guys in terms of things.
Ice cream!
If you really like the banter that we put on here, we will make sure to have a nice discussion of a topic later.
Not ice cream.
To be determined.
I just know it's not going to be ice cream now. You didn't give me the go-ahead on that.
Well, I told you to stick up with your Uber Eats account, but, if you're not going to stay up with Uber Eats, you're not going to get the deliveries. That's how this works. I guess you could go to DoorDash and scam them next.
Shame. So shameful.
Don't you shame me.
Could do that.
How dare you shame me? You and your forest green sweater.
Uh-oh. Kevin, Maria beat you to it. She says, hi, Donald's mom. Happy birthday to Donald's dad.
I had something planned. A fellow Gemini. Well, you know what? If that's the case, yes. Happy birthday to Don Mac II and to the older sister, Diana. So we're all in good company. Fellow Geminis, fellow June babies. June, I must say, is the best month to be born. And I'm so happy that Donald has to spend $1,000 every year in the month of June for everyone's birthday.
So many. There's like 10 people I know that have birthday in the month of June. It's ridiculous.
Actually, more than that, but I know you don't give everybody a gift.
No, I can't. I can't do it. Sometimes I'll just be like, what do I have in this drawer?
All right.
Hey, Kevin, I found a gift for you. Here, it's one piece, I think, or whatever it is. It's great.
Of course, naturally, we could always grab a gift just off to my left here. What do we have? Wow, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, of course.
That's a
Look
good
at
gift to give.
You know, it's funny. All 4 of our birthdays are almost back to back to back as far as months are concerned, because next month is Jared, Donald's in
Yes.
August, and then Darren, not September, but in October. So
Yeah.
we almost have back to back to back.
Jarrett chose a good month to be born. There's not too many people I know in July with birthdays, so that's good. So thank you for that, Jarrett. I appreciate that.
You know what else my birthday is? Disneyland's birthday.
Oh, shit. That's why you love it so much.
This year is the 65th anniversary.
Yeah, that's the day they're going to start the reopening, too.
Interesting.
Oh, forget Disneyland anniversaries. I'm all about Facebook friendiversaries.
Oh, yeah, they love those.
Yes.
Those are kind of getting creepy, I've noticed lately.
Are they?
A little bit. It's like they have all these different pictures of you and their people. It's kind of weird. It's almost like stuff that you don't even
And
remember.
what? Pictures of you and what, Kevin? You didn't quite finish. You said, and their Pete, and then you stopped.
No,
Wearing
it's
a mask.
pictures of you and like
And
people.
and people with their penises? Is that what you were going to
I
no,
never
just
said no
saying
such thing. I never
Okay.
said no such thing, sir. Come on now.
So
Come on now.
Here's the deal here, guys. We are here tonight to discuss this final battle here with our sidekick. So, Donald, would you mind setting the stage, otherwise the tournament bracket, as to who will be facing off this evening?
Absolutely. The bracket's very simple. It's going to come down to basically we just have three characters. So let me bring them up here. We are going to start out with the ever beautiful, ever strong, powerful Donna Troy of Teen Titan fame.
Nice.
And she is going to be the lovely white bread to the sandwich that is going to have Arthur, the moth from the Tick, his sidekick, in there. Donna being the sidekick of Wonder Woman, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, last but not least, we are going to have the very smart, very beautiful, very awesome Oracle, a.k.a. Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, the sidekick of Batman.
And now this battle is probably, going to be reminiscent of the 90s film Threesome with Laura Flynn Boyle and one of those Baldwin boys.
I was thinking more along the lines of Bound, but,
Yeah.
you can go either way.
Wait. What about 3 to Tango with Matthew Perry and Nev Campbell?
That's
What
true.
about Wild Things with Kevin Bacon, Nev Campbell, and Denise Richards?
Yeah, that movie didn't hold up too well.
Or
Well,
any
it could
movie
be
with
going-
Amanda Peet.
The two girls, it is going the two girls and a guy way, if you think about it.
2 Girls in a Cup, Jarrett?
Right. No, I was referring to the Robert Downey Jr. film.
Mom, don't Google 2 Girls, 1 Cup, please. Don't do it.
And what about 2 girls in a coffee? Two girls, 2 guys in a coffee shop. Yeah, that show with Nathan Fillion and Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, wasn't that two girls in a pizza place or something like that?
Yeah, thank you. That's
Yeah.
2 girls, 2 guys in a pizza place.
That's right. Reynolds and Fillion were on that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Janet says, ha ha ha, Wild Things was a fun reply, Kevin. If anybody has not seen Wild Things, it's actually great. It came out around the time where everything had like a surprise ending, so I love that about this film, but also you got a really nice scene, a very loving scene between 2 women that was also very exciting for young Donald.
Really?
I do remember seeing
and you're allowed to
Kevin
watch
Bacon
such material?
Well, there is a bizarre performance from Bill Murray, to say the least.
Right?
Very bizarre.
I don't think he knew what film he was in.
No, and Matt Dillon obviously having a big year in 1998, doing some of his best work, and There's Something About Mary, which I got to tell you, he was the reason to watch. For me, he was priceless.
No, he was
Absolutely.
great.
Absolutely.
So Donald, I know this is some of your finest work we're talking about here. You getting and going on this big final 3-way battle between these superheroes.
Yeah.
And would you like to set the stage of what you see is going to happen?
Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. I'm going to see it as this. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. You can go in with your alternative visions, whatever you want. But this, wow. So
I took a drink there. That's
Yep.
not that serious.
Yep, some of the fine Coke Life and whiskey to get this exciting match going. Okay, so Donna Troy. We all know Donna Troy is basically Wonder Woman light with extra abilities. So she's actually possibly stronger than Wonder Woman in her own right. She's grown up to be a very, very independent, very strong woman. And you don't want to mess around with Donna Troy. You don't want to mess around with her. Well, everybody's been messing around with Donna Troy. She's already pissed off. She's beaten a lot of people, and she just has 2 more to get to the end. Unfortunately, those 2 are Arthur and Oracle. Now, Arthur doesn't know that he's actually in a fight, I don't feel. He knows that people keep coming at him, but he doesn't know that this is a tournament yet. He's stumbled into, it's like stumbling into a fight club and not quite knowing what's going on. It's if Ernest P. Worrell went down into a fight club in the basement and saw Brad Pitt fighting a bunch of people, and then he was like, I don't know, gee, I don't know what this is there, Vern, you know?
Ernest P. Worrell.
Yeah, so that's the way I see Arthur's character in all of this. And then Barbara Gordon, a.k.a. Oracle, she's methodical. She is the Magneto Xavier of this fight. She's a cross between the 2. She's 2 steps ahead of everybody, and she's got a slight mean streak to her. Not a full-on, but a slight mean streak to her. Meaning she'll do what she has to in order to survive and win. So, if we just pit Donna independently between Arthur and Barbara, it's over. Am I right? I mean, if Donna went to fight Arthur, Arthur can't stumble and bumble his way out of this one. We can all agree on that?
That's true.
How did Arthur even get to the point of the bracket that he was able to advance this far?
Right? He just got lucky. He got very lucky just stumbling into individual characters. Luck. Yeah, spoiler, Frankie and whoever else was in there to fight him. He stumbled through and made it to the end, which is a very Arthurian thing to do. Let's be real. If Donna just fought Barbara straight up, if she burst into her apartment and Barbara's sitting there on the couch with her useless legs, and she just would walk over and slap the shit out of her, straight slap her into death. You know, that would be pretty much it. Barbara wouldn't, she'd just try to grab her keyboard real quick and boom, dead. Can we all agree on that? If Donna fought Barbara straight up, Barbara's done.
Yeah, she's done.
So we know this. And we know this. Who else knows this? Barbara. Barbara Gordon knows this. She's the smartest one there. She's the smartest one in any room she goes into, pretty much. Unless she's, with Iron Man or something like that, or Mr. Fantastic. Maybe even Ted Kord, the Blue Beetle. He might. I don't know if you guys know, but I created a web series called The Blue Beetle Ted Kord Returns. And Ted Kord is a very smart character, so he could probably best Barbara as well. In fact, they had a slight romantic entanglement at some point, too, in Birds of Prey comic. How about that?
Nice.
Anyway, so Barbara anticipates this. She knows this is coming. What does she do? Now, here's where it gets fun. We all know that Arthur is now crippled, thanks to Jarrett's very intense, very intricate storyline. Arthur got crippled. He is now paralyzed. I believe, Jarrett, correct me if I'm wrong, from the neck down.
Yeah, he's quadra.
Right.
Squats.
Arthur can't do much. He can fly around, I guess, but it's just like hitting a limb into something. It's like a power line with a tree limb smacking it. It's not going to do much harm. So Arthur is kind of already out of the picture. Barbara knows this. What does she do? Having already beaten War Machine and already used the Stripes armor to help her do it, she improves upon it. She takes the War Machine armor He meshes it with the Stripes armor, and she creates a robotic suit, a giant robotic moth mecha suit that Arthur can run with his mouth inside of it, and she can even control from a keyboard if need be, if he gets too rattled. So she sends in Mecha Arthur to fight Donna.
I like how you built upon my ideas from a couple weeks ago. That's great.
Yes.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So I thought you'd enjoy that. So we have Mecha Arthur versus Donna. So this is like, a Godzilla versus Mothra, or whatever you want to take it as. This is a fight, guys. This is a fight. This is going to wear down Donna. And what we have with this suit is some special things. We have an electrical charge. Every time he grabs her, he can set the charge, and it'll electrocute her. We have a heated element to the suit. So basically, it is the hardest metal known to man that this suit was based off of, that it can hold her, heat her, and electrically charge her at the same time. So it's wearing her out. And I honestly, due to Barbara's specifications and her genius intellect of knowing exactly, having worked with Donna in the past, what she is prone to weakness-wise, she uses all these specifications in this suit to incapacitate Donna. Not necessarily kill her, but knock her out. And then what they do, in order to keep her kind of stuck where she is, they put her inside of some type of a... Imagine, if you will, an Iron Maiden without the spikes. Mm-hmm. So just like an iron type of suit type coffin thing that they put her in. And then they drop that down, the suit drops it down into a construction zone where there's a pit. They fill that pit with cement. Game over. It's pretty much Donna's done. Now, Arthur thinks he still has a shot, that he could still win this. He's in this mecha suit. He's controlling it with his mouth. He heads towards Barbara. He's like, I'm going to take her out so easy. I'm going to thank her for the suit, and then accidentally take her out. That's probably his thought. It's not going to happen. There's several things that could happen. What we're going to go with is that Barbara decided that that heating element that's on the outside of the suit is also on the inside of the suit. Barbara just cooks him from the inside. And once done, the suit either just turns on its air compressing unit to just blow out the dust, or just opens a small trap in the bottom of the suit and all the liquefied remains of Arthur just pour out, whichever way you want to go. Barbara Gordon, without a doubt in my mind, is the absolute winner of this Sidekick Smackdown. If anybody has anything else that they want to add, if they have an alternative that they want to go with, I am completely happy to hear it. I was just super excited to throw this out there as far as the playing field. It's a battle. It goes from home to construction site to city streets. It's all over the place.
Wow. Okay, I have a quick one. I have a quick combat to that.
All right.
I'm just going to say that I'm going to go with yours, but here's just a quick one I just came up with at the top of my head. Because you of all the stuff of the wearing of the, it got me thinking.
Okay.
Okay. So, Donna Troy's in full Amazon bloodlust right now. She's just full on. She knows
full
she's
rage.
Yeah, she sees red and rage, and she sees two opponents in front of her: a paralyzed Arthur and a wheelchair-bound Oracle, but who she knows has the capabilities to put up quite a fight. So right away, she takes Arthur's body and just turns it into a skin suit, like she's wearing Arthur, and the Oracle sees this and out of shock throws up, falls out of her wheelchair, hits her head on a rock, and dies. Donna Troy wins. But I'm going with Donald's.
Okay. The skin suit?
Most pathetic way for everybody to go out.
Yeah, falling and hitting your head on a rock is a pretty bad way to go out.
That's brutal.
I would say even maybe she passes out and her cat comes and sits on her face and smothers her.
Suffocates him.
An undignified way to go out.
Absolutely.
That's the same cat that took Samuel L. Jackson's eye in Captain Marvel.
Oh God, it might well be.
Wait, you speaking of a cat, right? Can it be the cat from the Red Lantern Corps?
Sure. I don't see why not.
Or Catwoman's cat. That one, the really creepy one.
There's a lot of cats, guys.
Yeah.
Or Miss Kitty from the WWF.
Yes.
There you go. Could be Miss Kitty. Could be Miss Kitty.
Morris the cat.
Kevin, Darren, do you guys have an alternative or want to add anything to this?
No, I mean, I was speechless after your breakdown, and especially Jarrett's morbid twist on it as well. So I can't beat that. Although I did add the cat. I wouldn't mind bringing the Red Lantern cat. I can't think what his name is right now to be the one that sits on.
Yeah, I can't remember that cat's name either offhand.
I'll come in a second. I'm trying to remember. I actually like that cat.
I mean, I demand a recount on this entire bracket, so maybe we should just move to prospecting.
Well, see, you're pissed off because Rhodey didn't make it. That's your problem.
That's my problem? That ain't my problem. That's the problem with this entire Real Short Box podcast. The legitimacy has fallen.
Hey, so we should all be pretty excited, though. Arthur made second place. That's pretty far.
Yeah,
that
but
guy.
The problem is he's dead.
True, he did get cooked.
Oh, yeah. Dexter.
That's it.
The cat.
Yeah,
I like Dexter. He's a cool cat.
Oh, I mean, and Arthur getting the runner-up. I mean, dude, Savio Vega was the runner-up at the '95 King of the Ring, but everyone remembers King Mabel.
Hey, you guys remember that movie Cube? Who got out of that alive?
The gentleman with the mental ill.
Oh, the autistic kid.
Yeah.
Now, if you
in
watch
our world, he got cooked.
Oh. Well, in Cube Zero, the prequel, you see how he became what he became, which is kind of a cool...
Oh, really? I haven't seen that.
What about Cube 2 Hypercube, Kevin?
That one has some cool effects, but the story's not good. But Cube Zero, the prequel, that's actually pretty good.
We got Kevin to admit he watched Cube 2 Hypercube.
No! Hey, look, I have Cube on DVD. I enjoyed it that much.
I like Cube.
Cube is basically a combination of Saw, Seven. I like it.
Yeah, so like...
It's all right.
Back when that movie first came on Sci-Fi Channel, it was on a Saturday night maybe like 18 years ago. And it started a tradition that I live with to this day. If my wife is ever busy doing things and I'm not completely occupied, I have this thing I call it Strange Movie Saturday Night. And Cube was the original Strange Movie.
Nice.
Because it is strange. And only one director can make the Hall of Fame of Strange Movie Saturday Night. And that was David Cronenberg.
Oh, yeah, totally.
That's true.
Ooh,
true.
Yeah.
Shivers.
He's so far in the Hall of Fame.
Scanners is one of my personal favorites from him.
Was it Naked Lunch?
Yeah, he did that.
Yes.
What the hell? Look,
Exactly.
a beetle that has a typewriter on its back. And then another beetle, when it spreads its wings, there's a butthole.
Well, because it's all from William Burroughs, so yeah, it's all his crazy mind.
It's all like there's too many buttholes in that movie. I don't understand it. Like I'm very
One movie that I thought was pretty terrible and had a great cast too, but Spider with Ray Fiennes. He plays like a mental patient guy. It was just it was like a movie. It felt like they shot in like a weekend.
Oh, you know what? I think I know what you're talking about. I think I rented it and watched it and went, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I remember it now. Yeah, that was stupid. Like that was back in my day. We had a grocery store back home. It was called Bag and Save, and inside of Bag and Save they had a video rental place. And they had where you could rent a new release for 2 days for $2. Or you could rent, here's a good one, for 3 days you could rent 6 old releases for, I think it was $2.
Oh, wow.
Well, so yeah. So obviously I would just wait. Or I would like just peruse what they had. And I went through almost their entire library of older movies because it was 6 at a time, and I would watch them in like just a day or two. And I would do it all the time. Man, I was a huge movie buff back in college.
So what you're saying is you have celebrated their entire catalog.
Yeah. And that was one of the movies, for sure. That was one of the movies, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could put it on the whole list of, movies. Friend of the show, Chase, we refer to as scummy movies. Stuff that just like, they didn't spend too much money on it.
No.
Okay, they spent enough, but not too much. Like Split Second with Rutger Hauer.
Oh, man. That's
kind of
a great movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, but it's still kind of... Look, I love Out for Justice with Steven Seagal, but it's still a scummy movie. I mean, let's be real here.
All Seagal films are kind of scummy feeling.
It kind of is, yeah.
Out for Justice, yeah.
Hey, Enrique. Everybody, Enrique's on.
Hey, Enrique. How you doing, buddy?
Hola, friend. So... I heard this little rumor moving around, guys, that we are going to do some prospecting.
Yeah, we're going to do some prospecting, some market
speculating.
watch. Yeah.
We might do a little bit of that. We might talk about a few books here and there. I don't know. Some of them we might have pictures for. Some of them we might not.
So if we're doing Market Watch, Jared, are you the one responsible for operating our Mad Money studio right now?
That's right.
So Janet says to me,
Kramer?
by the way, Janet says to me, I thought you'd be in favor of anything to do with Beatles, Don. Not with buttholes. No.
Once you add a butthole to the Beetle, it loses its mystique.
Yeah, it really does.
Speaking of the Beetle, did any of you guys see that movie Yesterdays?
No.
It's the new film about the guy that there was that cataclysmic storm, and it eliminated the Beatles from memory, and this guy who's basically like a jabroni of a musician, performs all these Beatles songs. And they think, it was mildly entertaining, as I kind of expected it would be. Real fun for 45. Yeah, real fun for 45 minutes, and then it just slowly dies to the end.
I should add that Little Richard is one of the reasons why the Beatles we even know about them. He helped put them on.
How about that?
Little Richard, God rest his soul. He was a recent
passing as well.
Pass, yeah. Yeah, we've
hearing some funny stories about Mr. Richard though since his passing.
Yeah.
Oh, he was really.
Apparently, he was obsessed with pictures of men and women's genitalia. Like he would have if you were at a party, he'd I want to show you this, and he'd break out a photo album. Fred Willard was on another podcast, WTF, the Mark Maron one, and he was telling a story how he was performing and Little Richard performed before them, and then he was like, I was so mad because I didn't go. Little Richard apparently invited everybody to his house after. He goes, but I found out that when he was there, he brought out this photo album of men and women's genitalia and just started showing it like vacation pictures.
Didn't Fred Willard also show his genitalia not too long ago?
He got caught at a little Santa Monica spot.
I mean, he actually died recently.
Wow, way to just bring it right down, Darren.
I don't like to do that, poor guy. I mean, he was 84, which is kind of shocking.
Well, so is showing your genitalia in public. That's pretty shocking.
Jesus Christ.
And we weren't in the theater. We don't know if he was just, admiring the story.
Just couldn't wait. Just couldn't take it home.
Well, we're trying to change subjects here.
You're trying. You're trying, buddy, but it ain't working.
We are losing a key demographic right now.
Actually, we did lose one viewer, so I don't know.
Yeah, the demographics. I mean, one viewer means a lot on this show. But also very interesting stuff here. So it's really interesting. If we're going to prospect here, guys, clearly you got to know one or two things that are possibly coming out on television or on the big screen.
Mm-hmm. Oh, of course.
That will
make the release schedule.
Not even necessarily that anymore, Darren. Sometimes all it takes is an announcement from a video game company.
From a video game.
Yep.
Never in my life have I seen something like this happen.
Nope. This is the largest spike, I think, in the history of comic books that we've ever seen. And it's all caused by the mention of a new video game that's coming to a new system, PlayStation 5. What game are we talking about, guys?
We're talking about
Morales Spider-Man.
Yeah, Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Yes, we are.
Now, the weird thing about this is, let me first just go off and say, I love Miles Morales. I love that character.
You love him very much.
But one of the reasons I really love him is because of the amazing movie they did called Into the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
So when that movie, he was kind of a prospecting book before, but when that movie came out and it did so well, and I think it's some people's favorite Spider-Man movie, period, it definitely hyped up the character. It made him kind of like into the mainstream. He officially became part of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, they brought him in just a couple years ago. They brought him into the Marvel Universe officially because he was just an ultimate world, ultimate Spider-Man character from the Ultimate Universe that Marvel had created, which was their what-if version of all these characters. But Miles became so popular, they were like, we can't get rid of him, and we can't keep the Ultimate Universe alive. It's dying. It's withering on the vine. What do we do? And they were like, I got an idea. Let's bring him into the Marvel Universe. So they did. And it worked out fine.
Worked out fine. Those are some... I read at least the first volume, the first 6 of those or whatever. They're really good. But then... So what's weird is, so the book spikes like normal, though. Kind of like what you'd expect. It went from maybe a $30, $40 book to maybe an $80 book. Mm-hmm. But I would say you could still find it between 40 and 80. Like it was kind of a wide gap.
I sold a copy just last month for $140 and thought that I did really well for myself.
And then I pissed you off about 5 days ago with the horrifying truth.
Indeed, you did.
So the book goes up, and 140 was like amazing. I was like, yeah, do it. He sells it. Then they announced that he's going to be in a video game. Now the thing that's weird about this is like, it shouldn't be shocking. He's a popular character. Like, why wouldn't they make a video game? And I've never seen a comic go skyrocket from a video game announcement.
Right.
But they announced this character, and immediately that book, I think somebody has it printed where it sold for like $1,300 or something like that.
I
remember yesterday I sent you an update.
There was a CGC graded 9.8, by the way. There's a difference between raw books and CGC grades. For those that don't know, when we say CGC graded, that's a company that will take your comic book, they'll look and inspect it, the quality, and if they give it a 9.8, that's usually the highest they can grade it. Occasionally you'll see a 10.0, but that's nigh impossible. It's like, it's going to be usually
9.9 even.
It's usually going to be a 9.8, sometimes a 9.6. And that's for even new books that come right off the press. So... that's what... It
has to be an unmolested copy. An unmolested copy in order to get to that.
Right. So to get that graded means it's the best of the best. There's no higher grade, a 9.8.
Yeah.
You get that, and people are paying how much, Jarrett? Like
$1,400, I think, has been the highest so far.
Correct.
But it's showing how the market these days, where it was in a slump for a little bit, I think comics, like, as far as new stuff, was in kind of a slump.
Yeah,
all of a sudden now, stores, marketing are really swaying the market. Sometimes, I would say mostly to the detriment, because I think a lot of books, it's like a buy, sell high, buy now, that whole kind of thing. Like
stocks.
Yeah, it's like stocks, exactly. And it's just, and then it just fades out. But those people that bought those stocks, those high stocks, end up with half their purchase at the end of it. Because that character didn't become that popular, or there was a really huge print run. Like a lot of books, and some books we'll be talking about tonight are some modern books that are keys, but it's because they had an unexpectedly low print run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like this Ultimate Fallout, there's a ton of them. It's not like
yeah, they are, but not as bad as like a '90s book. I think it's like 20,000 copies or something like that was the print run.
Right. Any book that's a current run is going to have a significantly lower amount than a '90s book, because '90s tip the market.
Even '80s.
We heard, for example, that Prophet, which is a Rob Liefeld created character, when Prophet was going to have its own movie or series, and I think it was going to be on Netflix. Which makes sense because they made a deal, Rob Liefeld did, through his awesome comics distribution or whatever company, that they would have the rights Netflix would to create series out of it. So when they mentioned that Prophet was going to be one of these, people went kind of crazy. But Prophet, number one, there's millions of copies out there, so you could still get it even hot. Like this book, Crispy Hot, is still a $10 book.
Yeah.
There's one exception to that. There's one exception to that as far as like a 90s book that there's plenty out there, but it still sells for a very high price, and that would be New Mutants 98, the first appearance of Deadpool. There's plenty of them out there.
Yeah.
There are a ton of the books out there, but they still sell in that $200 to $300 to $400 range.
Right.
And that one is still mystifies me.
But you think about it.
Here's the thing I didn't know about the Ultimate Fallout book. It's originally a polybagged book.
Yes.
Yes.
So, I mean, mine's not in the polybag.
Mine's is. Shame on you.
Here's the thing, Jared. If yours isn't in the polybag, it's still very valuable. You just should probably, if it looks minty crisp, you should get it graded.
That thing.
Yeah.
That was my next thing is CGC won't CGC a polybag. They will take it out.
They will take it out. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. But what they will annotate in the CGC is they will let you know if it was submitted with the polybag.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it doesn't make a difference. No one's looking at that. That's the thing. No one cares. Like, was it submitted with a polybag or not submitted with a polybag? Nobody cares.
They just want a grade.
They just want the grade of the book. So in this case, CGC, CBCS, these are great companies for that reason alone, is that you're able to take it out of that polybag, which actually over time damages the quality of the book because the acidity in the plastic starts to eat away at the comic itself.
How many years does it take for that to happen, out of curiosity?
I think it's like 2 months.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I'm kidding. It'll take years and years and years and years. I don't know exactly how long, but it takes a long time.
You should look at X-Force #1s and see.
Yeah, seriously. All
the
90s books that are still polybagged.
So
Superman's death.
So obviously, Donald had the screws put to him on that book. Kevin mocked him for it, because that's what Kevin does. But my question to you guys is, are you going to make up for it, or would you recommend selling a first appearance of Taskmaster?
So you're telling the three of us, three of us each own a copy of, to sell that copy while the going is going.
Yeah, I would say, Darren, if you don't have an extreme love for the character, if you have it, sell it. Make some money. Because after the movie, here's the problem with Marvel movies.
If they kill them off.
A lot of times they kill off the villains or you just never see them again.
Mm-hmm.
So, like...
We're gambling with this one because it's a prequel, too. So,
Right. You don't know...
Like you've seen Taskmaster, so...
You don't know what's going to happen, Is
I hope
Taskmaster disappear?
Really do.
Now, what do you think's a real... Because, you guys have been praising the Taskmaster for 2 years now, at least. Mm-hmm. What do you think is a reasonable price that you could get for that? And I'm talking just like an average graded copy.
If you're looking at an average, and we'll say like a 6.0 to 7.0, 3 to 400, I think seems like a fair price. What do you guys say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay, so if you have a really nice copy, we're not getting into the thousands with this character.
Well, if it's a 9.8.
9.8.
Yeah, if it's a 9.8,
would that exist?
You're going to hit.
Yeah, because it's from like 1981, 82, something like
81,
that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, even lower print run.
Yeah.
They didn't hit those huge print runs until the 90s when Image...
late 80s. Yeah,
basically, Image kind of did that, didn't they? They kind of...
I would say Valiant might have started it.
Image and Marvel...
Valiant went nuts.
Yeah, I would say Valiant... Remember we talked about that with the Malibu gentleman?
Oh, yeah.
Who really got that going?
Yeah, guys, if you haven't listened to our two-part Valiant... or our two-part Malibu Comics interview where we interviewed the Malibu Comics creators... please do. It's really fascinating to see how such a huge company, they were number 2 in the industry. At one point, they were selling more books than DC Comics. Mm-hmm. How a comic book company that was doing so well could go downhill so fast and be bought out. They got bought eventually by Marvel, who basically just shelved every single one of their characters, but like 1 or 2 or something. That's it. Like everything else is just kind of gone.
stupid. It is. There's an opportunity right now to put some fresh, a fresh take on those characters.
And we all know if that changed, and if Malibu Comics went to DC instead of Marvel, we all know that we would be seeing those characters now.
Absolutely.
Because DC doesn't have a fear of that, and they're willing to pay the extra money to integrate characters like that into their universe. But Marvel, nah.
Well,
they won't do it.
Kind of disappointing with Marvel, just from an artistic point of view, the fact that they're finally starting to pretty much gobble up all their properties now. I actually didn't mind X-Men being over at Fox. Didn't mind Fantastic Four, because I think that
Fantastic Four I did.
You do have to have some healthy competition, though. Spider-Man, of course, is still holding out, kind of.
Right.
They have an alliance, a deal with Sony.
We all know it's a matter of time. I'm pretty sure Sony lost all the rights to Daredevil. I mean, there comes a point where I don't like it all being under the same umbrella, because let's be real, you have Disney behind that, and I'm not going to say, disrespect or say Disney doesn't do good work. What I am going to say, though, is they have one perspective and one way of telling stories, and I just don't think every Marvel character should be treated exactly the same.
So you don't have a problem with Warner Brothers owning all the DC characters?
Oh, of course I do.
Oh, okay.
Of course I do. Especially when they have proven that they can't. I better be careful, as I am an employee of Warner Brothers. Let's just say that there's different choices that can be made. There are characters I'm wondering why they sat on them for so long, and I'm also wondering why all the DC films go through the same producing team. Like, why are other people not looking at these movies? And I don't know. That's just my thought. I could be wrong. They could bring someone different in and screw them all up. You never know.
Well, we got J.J. Abrams, right? He's stepping into the DC universe now, which will make for a very interesting new future, I think. Maybe a brighter one.
Yeah, we'll see.
It'll be interesting for sure with JJ.
Man, if that Snyder cut, though, that's going to HBO Max, if that does super well, we're all in trouble.
That means we'll get the Suicide Squad cut too, because David Ayer's been talking about that. He wants that to be.
Hey, look. Real quick, Enrique says, by the way, the Garbage Pail Kids DVD had no special features.
Damn.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, I mean, seriously though, just a real quick word on that.
I'm leaving, Enrique. I've had enough.
A quick word on that Justice League cut. I mean, when you are a comic book film, you could put out a film at any length that you wish. The fact is that Justice League movie was, an hour and 40 minutes? If they wanted it to be 2.5 hours, they could have made it 2.5 hours. So I don't think there's going to be anything there that we're like, oh God, I wish they would have put that into the theatrical cut. I'd be very surprised.
Well, apparently there is, supposedly.
It's all hype right now, Kevin. It's all hype.
Are you doubting the power of Zack Snyder, sir?
Not doubting the power of anything. I believe what I see, sir. I believe what I see.
So right now you're skeptical until next year when you're proven wrong.
If I am proven wrong. And I hope I am. I don't want these movies to be worse. I want them to be better.
Of course.
So bring it on. I mean, obviously, now, has Warner Brothers officially moved on from Ezra Miller?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't he get himself in some kind of trouble?
Yeah, domestic abuse. Caught on camera.
Oh,
Not
boy.
good.
Not good.
Not good. But also, too, his film was getting delayed massively as well, from what I understand. Anyway, so, I mean, there does come a point, even if he were the nicest guy in the world, you have to say, wow, this is a curse at this point. We need to move on and do something different.
Well, it's like the New Mutants movie. Maybe when we're, in our the adult home, we'll finally see that movie.
Kevin, New Mutants is coming straight to Hulu. Just accept it, okay? This is what's happening. That movie is doomed.
That sucks.
It's doomed.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's gonna. Yeah.
There's always something that keeps happening to that poor movie, and it keeps getting pushed back.
Coming soon to Disney Plus. They really should have just made it a premiere on Disney Plus. I don't see why not.
So that and the Mandalorian could have like opened up.
By
Disney
the way,
Plus.
it's going to be a weird plug, but if you guys have not seen the Lady and the Tramp Disney Plus live action, I recommend it. It's a lot of fun.
Did it have that spaghetti scene?
It did.
Oh.
It did. Although it did not have the "We Are Siamese" song. That did not happen.
No, that's not going to be an updated Disney.
It had a different version, and it was actually really bad. I'm going to be honest, it was not good. So don't expect much from those cats. It was not good at all. But everything else about the movie was great. Highly recommend.
Well, the podcast's resident Disney expert did say they enjoyed it and only had 3 issues with it, which honestly it's a pretty positive review.
Yeah.
For people who hold on to these classics very tightly, as they should, because there's a reason they're classics. There's a reason they're classics, and it took Star Wars. Let's just not go there. They still didn't get it right, but you see, you have to.
Yeah, don't get me started on that.
You have to hold on to what you got and make sure you're doing respect, which is why I'm never opposed to remaking bad movies. If you want to remake a bad movie, let's just get right to it, okay?
Yeah,
let's remake The Hitcher. The Hitcher's terrible. Oh wait, we did that.
Yeah. Yeah, Sean Bean replacing Rutger Hauer is a really good choice, by the way, but did nothing for it.
Okay. I mean, the remake of The Poltergeist was Punishment.
Ooh. Oh. I watched that, Darren. I watched that with Derek. So, Derek Hagen, if you're watching this, remember that time? He liked it. I was like, no. But he was like, that was fun. And I was like, no.
Oh.
But it was still nice to go out and hang out. But, real quick, the Ultimate Fallout Spider-Man issue number 4. Kevin, you were telling me about this. This actually is not the first printed appearance of Miles Morales. What is, that you know of, the exact first appearance of Miles Morales on the printed page?
It is Marvel Preview number 95.
Ooh!
Yes.
Boom! Ask and you shall receive.
But didn't
there, everybody.
With Wolverine, like some later on, we're like, well, there was an ad for that comic, and it had Wolverine in it.
See, for some reason now we're playing this game where it's like I think it's kind of like spoiled milk, sore loser comic book collectors, where it's like if I don't have it, I'm gonna go and hunt down the quote unquote true first appearance and say that this is the true first appearance and try to get that.
It's all
rocket in price.
All the Hulk 180 people that could not get 181 are like, oh, it's a true first appearance, and it's like, I'm sorry, but eat a dick. It's not the true first appearance.
Or no, Venom didn't first appear in 300. You got to go to 299 and 298.
And we're talking further. When we talk first appearances, usually we're talking the first full appearance. Right. Here's something that's interesting, though. For example, and Jarrett, you'll know this. First appearance of Blue Devil is
the guy Teen Titans, right?
It's something like that. Yeah, it's either Teen Titans or, for example, it is, because it's also the first Brother Blood or something like that.
And Night Force and stuff like that.
Yeah, Night Force is in that. The first Blue Devil appearance is in a preview that's in there. Now, it's a couple pages of a preview. Preview is like 3 or 4 pages that they give you. So it's not just like he's one page on there. He's in the whole thing.
Right.
So they technically count that in the comic book world as his first appearance in printed form, even though it's a preview. So technically, if Ultimate Spider-Man, if Miles Morales first appeared in this preview, if it's more than a couple pages and he's on every page, then that should qualify as his legitimate actual first appearance, if we're going by that. But comic book world has this fucked up thing that they do to where they don't qualify that. They create whatever narrative they want to make something else more valuable.
Yep.
And even people on YouTube and in Facebook and that stuff that have their own podcasts, they will push that narrative to create value wherever they want it to go. And good or bad, that's their narrative, and people can either listen or not listen. But if we're being real, if a preview in DC Comics world is a first appearance, why is it not a first legitimate appearance in the Marvel Comics universe world?
Yeah.
Now, of course, in Image, as we know, that Malibu Sun issue is considered, the first appearances of Spawn and the Max, so that's a big thing too.
Spawn is so contested, though, Kevin, because there's also an ad in Rust #1, which isn't an Image or a Malibu comic. They just put an ad in there to advertise the coming of Spawn in Image Comics.
Oh, that's funny.
And because that ad's there, some people argue that that is the true legitimate first appearance of Spawn.
Or one of the all-time favorite quote-unquote first appearances, Gobbledygook for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is really expensive, by the way.
Oh, it's expensive. Jared, you could put a down payment on a nice expensive house.
Here's another thing let's talk about. The Ultimate Fallout #4, the second prints are through the roof as well.
Yep, they've now crossed the triple-digit mark.
So why isn't the second or third? I think there might be a third. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I know there is a second print of Gobbledygook.
Yes, two versions of the second print
of Gobbledygook, right?
Oh, sorry, Gobbledygook. Yeah.
Yeah, Gobbledygook. There's at least 2 prints of that. So why isn't the second one of that going through the roof? Right now, that's like an $8 to $10 book. If that's a second print of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first appearance, why is that not insanely popular right now? It's just
maybe because
it's market driven. It's right. It's whatever people want to push. Right now, Kevin, we need to push the second appearance or the second print of the first appearance of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Gobbledygook #1. That is a hot book, and you should all collect that. Because why? Because we have 7 copies. We don't really, but you know what I mean? It's like a thing.
I second that.
Yeah.
Do you guys see all the comic shops just unloading their Ultimate Fallouts right now? It's like
we were at a comic shop this weekend, and good Lord, if you could see what we saw.
They had what was it, Kevin? They had 8 to 10, 9.8 CGC graded ones on the wall.
Yeah,
sitting there.
Along with 4 Harley Quinn first appearance.
And we were like, "What's going on with this?" And they're like, "Well, we're gonna wait a little bit and see what happens." It's fair. It's fair. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, because I would do the same thing. But if you're a comic shop, I'm like, God, don't you need the money right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no. With online auctions now, who knows? I don't know.
I mean, okay, so let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Let's talk about how Instagram
heating up
has pushed the market to an insane level. First of all, Instagram live comic book auctions are outpacing eBay sales.
Yep, it's eBay on steroids, basically.
Darren, that sounds insane to you, right?
Of course it sounds insane.
That IG, Instagram sales, and we're going to go IG to be all cool and hip. IG sales is dwarfing eBay sales, like on certain books.
Well,
yeah.
Here's my question for you.
Good one. I like that.
Have either of you guys participated or received material through the Instagram sales?
I've indirectly participated.
Not on the actual auctions. I don't.
I have.
Garrett's done well. I find them very confusing, and I just like to, if they post something, I like to say claim, and I own it, and that's it. I don't want to wait and bid
at the same time.
So, Jarrett, my question to you is, I think a lot of people have had complaints over the years about obtaining their products through eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, is Instagram a little more efficient at doing this?
I never thought ever I'd buy anything off Instagram because it was just like a kind of vanity photo thing, you know?
Sure.
But a buddy of mine, Ryan from the Palookas, he was like, let me turn you on to some sellers, and he started showing me the sellers. And now with these auctions, it's like a whole new level. Like, it's actually easier to deal with because it's more immediate instead of like putting a bid in or buying it now and kind of doing it through these intermediaries. You're just literally saying, hey, DM me your address and I'll send you the money, and then they send out the book and you get your your tracking
But
number.
that's like when they post the book and they're like, it's this set amount.
Yeah. Oh no, the options are cool too, because a lot of them are not like, do I hear 50? Do I hear 60? They're actually just like, they'll have like A, B, C, D, E, F, and they'll be like, okay, this next book is Ultimate Fallout 4. It's a 7.0, and I'm selling it for 200. So literally, the first person who types in,
okay, so it's not.
Claim it.
So if you say I'll give you $100, they won't go. Okay, but Mark over here says he'll give us 150.
No. I've seen people who do those ones. They put the book out and they'll say I'm going to start it at 50, and then they not my cup of tea.
Yeah, no.
But most of the auctions, especially with what are their Comics Elite, the people who are kind of facilitating all these auctions, they've all kind of had the same format. They have a bunch of letters. They put the book out.
Here's
they say,
what I found out. I like Elite Comics a lot. I think they're very very good. And I've actually, what a lot of people don't know, and what I recommend doing is Elite Comics pretty much knows everybody. They're like top tier.
They're well connected.
So if you want to buy a book off someone and you don't know how trustworthy that person is, you can reach out to Elite and say, hey, have you worked with this person before? Do you trust them? And they'll let you know. Like, I did that myself personally. That's why I'm saying that that's a good thing. They're pretty stand-up guys over there, and so I recommend that if you're not knowing, it's always good to throw that out into the IG community. And the IG comic community is very, very welcoming. It's an interesting thing. It can be cutthroat at times, don't get me wrong, but it's very welcoming as well to new collectors and people. There's a lot of people on Facebook even, and Jarrett, you're part of these groups, that will help you find books that you need to complete your collection, because they want to, they don't want exclusivity, they want inclusivity. They want to include you on that, to have this, to be one.
It's more people to barter with, more people to to find your Grail book through.
Right,
or something.
And if they help you, maybe you'll help them later. Yeah. It's a very symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, I will actually say via Instagram, I have never had one issue with the seller.
Yeah,
that's good.
Same here. No problems. No problems.
But these auctions, I'm actually getting addicted to, because you're watching them, and you're like, the fact that you can participate from wherever your couch, and then at the same time also like some great deals. Like I got a first Rogue and a first Alice Cooper in comics.
Let me ask you something, Jarrett, real quick. Once somebody's bid and it's been accepted, when you tune in, are you tuning in live, or are you behind and you have to catch up and see? It's live. Okay.
Live. Yeah.
So you're seeing everything live, and whatever's left is just what's left, and that's it.
Yep. And the cool thing is sometimes like nobody goes for a book, and people will make an offer on it, and they'll take the offer.
Nice.
Okay.
Great.
So,
great.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely a proponent, and they've saved so many stores doing these auctions.
Elite really has.
COVID. Yeah, especially during COVID, this has been huge.
And I would imagine there is no sales tax involved either.
No, there's Darren. You bring up an excellent point. There's not. There's no sales tax. Also, you get rid of the 9% eBay seller's fee. It's at 9%. So currently, for example, let's say if you're selling a $1,000 book, they're getting $90.
By the way, does that include the PayPal fee too?
No, PayPal's 3%.
So you see, so it's really 12% you're giving up.
Right, if you sell on eBay. But if you sell strictly on PayPal, you're only giving up, or Instagram, you have to use PayPal, you're only giving up 3% of the sale.
Right.
Now, dumb question. In the future, since Instagram is blowing up with sales, do you think the government's going to catch on to this? Like, hey, blah, blah, blah.
Yep,
you want
absolutely.
Especially a state like California, who would love to get a cut of that.
I mean, even if they do, you'll just see someone start a new thing. I mean, this is kind of like
Twitter, like the Twitter sales.
This is what it's like. Like living in the middle of capitalism. Once you see something isn't working for you, someone creates something else. So it's inevitable. Obviously.
Absolutely. By the way, a question to the audience: if anybody wants to participate, any type of comic that you want to know if it's worth anything, or any book that you want to know if you should invest in it or prospect on that book, please, just comment, let us know. or reach out to us on our platforms, on Instagram, on Facebook. We're The Real Short Box. You can send us a message, and we're happy to respond and let you know what we think. We do our research, in other words, and we're usually quite a few steps ahead. Like, I know Jarrett, Kevin, and we've had a lot of these big books before they've even gotten big. So
even Darren.
Yes.
This is very true. Even and if I saw this coming, they saw it coming. I mean, I just off the top of my head, I remember Donald was very proud to say to me, correct me if I'm wrong, for roughly 50 cents, you had a first appearance of Stargirl, was it?
Yeah, it was about a 50-cent book when I bought it.
And what's Stargirl going for these days?
Oh, it's anywhere from, depending on the grade, 50 to 100 right now. It goes pretty high. And by the way, rightfully so, because if anybody has not checked out that Stargirl series on the CW/DC streaming platform, it is great. It is really good.
I cannot believe I haven't seen it yet because I'm a huge Justice Society fan, and they like.
Oh my God, Jarrett! Yes, you have to, because the first episode we see Starman, we see Night Owl, or Night Owl, yeah. We see Hour Man. Dr. Midnight. I'm sorry. We see Dr. Midnight. We see Hour Man, and we see what's that character? He's like Killer Frost. Is it Killer?
Icicle?
Icicle, yeah. We see Icicle and a couple other villains, the Wizard and a few others too. So we see some really golden age characters. It's a lot of fun, and we do get to see Stripes. We get to see Stripesy, but we also get to see the robot Stripes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, guys, always make sure to run and check out those CW shows. Well, except for Batgirl and Supergirl.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, get on it as quick as possible.
By the way, the Supreme King says, "What's up, everyone?"
Hello, Supreme King, whoever you are.
Anybody know the Supreme King personally?
Congratulations on your kingship, Supreme King.
And now, of course, he's not the Supreme Chancellor, but he is the Supreme King.
That's okay. He's been knighted. That's all we care about. We are dealing... Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, but actually, legitimately, the only person to have any type of royalty in their title is me, right? I am a laird, technically, owning 1/1000th of a Scottish property created...
That may be so, quote unquote, Laird Donald, but do you own stock in the great company known as NVIDIA or Disney or other various American companies?
So, Kevin?
Did you say chlamydia?
He did.
NVIDIA.
He owes stock in chlamydia.
Hey, look, I declare myself the king of my 650 square foot castle. So the thing is that, stocks, Kevin. Don't even talk about stocks with me, buddy.
Come on now. We've had some good talk about that.
You don't want to compare my portfolio to yours, Kevin. All right. You might have the first appearance of Wolverine, but you do not have 1,425 shares of Silvercrest Metals.
Hey, we got a comment from Maria. She says, I saw a cool cover for Walking Ted once. How much is that worth?
Well, if I may push the market on this particular book, I believe that it should go for at least approximately 500 francs.
Build a narrative, Kevin.
I can back that. In fact, when we made the commercial advertisement, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. We actually...
there's only 150 were made, I believe, sir? Something like that? A very limited amount
We did. In fact, I have a few left, to be honest. There was like 100 prints made of this piece of art that our friend of the podcast, Louis Castillo, did. He's a very talented artist. Please look him up. That he did we did a mashup of Ted Kord, the Blue Beetle, and The Walking Dead, and we called it The Walking Ted. And we used it in a Kickstarter Indiegogo advertisement to make money for the Blue Beetle Ted Kord Returns. I did a web series, I don't know if you guys know, for Blue Beetle Ted Kord Returns.
Never, no.
No? Oh, okay. Well, in that, we did this advertisement to where we would give away these prints. I still have some, by the way, so if anybody's interested, in these prints, just let me know. Reach out, and I'm happy to send them your way so you can get a copy and frame it on your wall because it's beautiful artwork. It really is. Louis did
Send one to our
amazing.
friend
Try to
Comic
retrieve
Con.
that one.
And let's go through these last few books here that we're also talking about that's been highly speculative. There's Batman '89.
Okay,
this
let
new
me.
character named Punchline. I just recently heard of. That's
Kevin,
been
I
kind
don't
of
think
big.
I have the image for that.
Oh, you don't? Oh, I'm so
I don't
sorry.
think we talked about that, or you mentioned me pulling that one up.
Oh, my bad.
That's
Well,
okay.
it doesn't matter either way. That's the kind of character this character people went nuts for, and then all of a sudden it don't care about anymore. It's like it was the quickest like surge and then fail.
I don't think it was any quicker than the Joker's daughter.
Oh God, that's true.
Yeah. And in fact, I still think that there's probably a little more heat on Punchline than the Joker's daughter. The Joker's daughter was a huge joke, particularly because I think it was poorly written. The comic book that came out with it, with her as the main lead. I think she was like Two-Face's daughter, actually, or something, or some bullshit. I can't remember. So that character needed to die right away. Punchline, we'll see. Maybe she will be the Punchline of her own demise.
All right. What about, did I mention Adam?
You have not
Legend of the Blue
mentioned?
Marvel?
You have not
that
mentioned that? Let me pull it up.
Now, this is a personal favorite of Jarrett. He appreciates this particular character.
Jarrett was after this book. How long were you after this book for, Jarrett? Like probably 8 months?
Yeah. There it is. I don't know if you guys know there's a show that this is affiliated with.
Yes, hang on, Darren. Let me move this out of the way here. There we go. We got the Walking Ted. You have to pull it back towards you so people can see it clearly.
Oh, I see it.
Because you have the blur on there. Bring it back a little bit further back.
Look at that.
Yeah, right there.
Beautiful.
Isn't that great?
That's an ugly looking bastard, though. My goodness.
I do have those prints available if anybody's interested. Let me know. For sure, reach out to me.
Also, might be able to get yourself a Maxwell Lord.
Ooh. Being played by Prince Oberyn in the Wonder Woman 1984 movie.
Got the body doubles.
Yeah.
There you go.
Of course,
Enemies of the Resurrection Man.
Scarlet Beetle.
Nice.
Which was ripped off of Donald in a different, well, that's a whole story for another day.
Oh, shit.
Now that's an original character right there.
And naturally, of course, the Blue Beetle.
That's a beautiful one. That's Dr. Hypnovert as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and Blue Beetle as a Ghostbuster.
That's awesome.
I do have all those cards available as well, so if somebody wants a print and they want me to throw in all those cards, I will do it. I'm happy to do it. Honestly, it's just I'm just happy to give that stuff away and share the love. Right, Kevin, we have Adam Legend of the Blue Marvel, #1 of 6, I believe. This is the first appearance of the Blue Marvel. Now, this is a character that just kind of snuck under the radar in really blew through the roof in a way. It's not like an insane amount, but he's just been doing this. He's been slowly crawling up the value. This was not more than
weirdest.
Not more than 2 years ago. Is a $40 book at best, and now Jarrett, you had trouble finding it for what, 100, 200?
I luckily got it for 128, I think, but that was because I saw it and I jumped on it immediately. It was a new post. But if you go on eBay right now and look at Adam Legend of the Blue Marvel, they're like minimum 200, 220, 460, 560. I mean, this is a character who has not been announced for a movie, has not been announced for anything, but there is a lot of heat on because he is like a Superman type character. He's like that power level.
A lot of speculation.
Yeah, so speculation is crazy high on him, but it's still a mystery to me. I did find out, or Donald found out, that because this book came out like so randomly, and it had like a little audience, people got it, but it actually was a super low print run. I think it was like 15,000 copies. Or something like that.
So this one you could definitely say is legitimate to do that because no one thought much of it.
Right.
So this is fair. So I got lucky. I got a free copy somehow. I can't remember if I got it from the Godfather comic shop or I got it from a gift from Donald or somebody. I can't remember, but I know I found mine in a box. And I said, "Oh my goodness, I got to put this in a bag and board immediately."
Yeah.
Because that's now a $200 book.
Bag it and tag it, baby.
That's right.
It's a good book to have, so definitely look into that one. Next one on our agenda here, we're going to keep it within time. We're going to try to close this out in about 10 minutes, guys. So let's keep this within our timeline here. What's the next book you guys are thinking about?
What was that? Spider-Man, Deadpool 47?
Yeah, this is a fun one, actually. This is actually, when they made this book, who could tell the story better? Kevin?
I got it.
Okay.
So Rob Liefeld made this big news. Rob Liefeld, if you don't know, is the creator of Cable, the creator of Deadpool. He was like the reason why, the New Mutants became the X-Force and was a huge creative power force for Marvel at that time and for mutants and all that. And then, of course, he went on to go do Image, and we all know that. But he's been kind of doing his own thing everywhere now, like freelancing or doing his own company, whatever, the Awesome Comic Fund. But he created this really pathetically generic character called Major X.
Yeah.
To bring back into the mutant
It looks like Boba Fett with Deadpool.
Yeah, it was Deadpool with a Boba Fett helmet on.
Yeah. And
I think they got away with it because it takes place in like an alternate reality or timeline or something like that. It was a 6 or something 8-issue miniseries, something like that. But so everybody was like, Rob Liefeld. Once again, this was the interesting thing about this is it's about people, comic shops, and the creator trying to control the narrative of the first appearance. So his first actual appearance was supposed to be, I think, in Major X #1, except it was a special like comic book exclusive variant cover to another book that had Major X on the cover, and Rob Liefeld made it so he would maximize profit off of it. So you'd have to go through his website and buy that to say you technically had the first appearance. But what he didn't know, and what was out of his control, was whoever was writing the Spider-Man Deadpool series at that time and the artist on that came out with a book, and in one panel, and this was before Major X came out, in one panel, you see Major X in the background with a bunch of like a collage of a bunch of other Deadpools, making it his technical first appearance. Whether this was to fuck with Rob Liefeld or whether it was just an accident because they thought the book was going to be out before this, nobody knows. But Rob Liefeld will not sign that book. If you bring him that book and pay him, he will not take your money and he will not sign that book.
From what I'm told, or from what I know, they did it to fuck with him.
Right.
Like somebody found out in advance, I think it was the artist, and they
Right.
threw him in the background on
Right.
purpose, which pissed Rob off, which is why he won't sign this book.
Which I love, to be honest. I bought that book just to hold on for the history of it.
It's actually a smart buy. Yeah, you bought the Spider-Man Deadpool one?
Yeah.
Let me bring up the X one, the Major X, real quick.
Major X.
There's the Major X. This one's actually, it looks like it's signed, but that's not our signature. That's just a copy I pulled up online. But as you can clearly see, everyone, it is absolutely a Boba Fett helmet on Deadpool. I mean, you couldn't make this shit up. It just looks so generic. And it's totally Rob Liefeld. I get it. It's totally Rob Liefeld.
And the art in it, all the characters, it's like everything looks exactly like everything he does.
Yep, absolutely.
And I'm not saying I even don't like it. I'm just saying it's very repetitive.
Yeah, very Liefeld generic, so to speak.
Yeah.
Did we have another one real quick since we're going to be wrapping up soon?
I think that might have been it as far as the books that have been kind of dictating the market.
I have another quick one that I think is going to go through the roof soon, particularly because we're going to get the Justice League Dark and all that stuff sometime soon. It's a very small picture, and I apologize for the size here. Not my size, but the size of the comic here. It's Captain Atom number 42, which is the most, so to speak, recent Captain Atom. It's from the 80s and 90s run of Captain Atom. This is the first in continuity appearance of Death, which, since we're getting an actual series on Sandman,
yeah,
she's going to make an appearance. That's where she technically first appeared within the Vertigo universe, but then they brought her into the continuity of the DC universe, which is where we get Captain Atom number 42, which had a very low print run because it wasn't a very popular 80s book. It's Captain Atom, guys. It's DC Comics. I don't even know how far he lasted. I think issue 50-something or 60, and then it got canceled. Yeah. But 42 is just a random number for them to make this appearance. It's going to be a hot book when that series comes out. They're taking their time on it, so I hope and I imagine it's going to be quite excellent when it does premiere.
If I may throw one in, too, that I feel is a good spec book. It's
sure.
Just fairly affordable right now. Darkhawk. So Darkhawk 1 and Marvel Age number 97.
Yeah. I don't have a picture of that. We didn't talk about this in advance, so I don't have anything to pull up real quick.
But next time.
But Marvel Age number what?
97.
97 and Darkhawk number 1.
Number 1.
It's strange, Kevin. Again, Marvel Age 97 is his true first appearance, technically, because there's a preview of it, and we see the character, and it's a full preview.
It's a multi-page preview. It's a
multi-page, free, full preview that we see of Darkhawk. Yet, they qualify Darkhawk number 1 as a true first appearance. Again, I think a lot of this is Marvel. You don't see this so much with DC. A lot of this is Marvel in their effed up way that they qualify this shit. I don't understand it. I don't know why people let them get away with it, to be honest. If they're going to premiere in a preview in Marvel Age, it should be Marvel Age as the first appearance in printed page.
If I may, Donald, I think I can explain it to you. You see, greed is good. He is right. That's a Wall Street callback for you youngins there.
Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate that. Oh, shit, look at that. He has it right there.
There we go.
Nice.
Look at that ominous look on his face.
That was fast. Dang. Didn't they do a Wall Street 2 like 10 years ago?
No, I never did Wall Street 2 because Shia LaBeouf. I mean, come on, bro.
You know what? I actually watched it. It wasn't that bad.
No?
It wasn't too bad. He was actually like about to marry his daughter, and
you know what I'm rating for, Kevin? Is it Romancing the Stone, Jewel of the Nile number 3?
I thought you were
the same actors.
Yeah. Kathleen Turner. Oh my God, have you seen her?
Yes, I have.
That would be amazing.
I thought you and Jared were looking forward to Coming to America too.
It would all be a court case. It would all be a court case with Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas as far as like who gets the kids and shit because oh my God, this would be amazing.
Michael.
Yeah. Because Kathleen Turner, by the way, in Californication.
Oh my God. She's amazing.
If you haven't seen her in that, you haven't seen Kathleen Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not anywhere near like she was in the 80s.
Yeah, look, it's been 30-something years. What do you expect? What do you expect?
Yeah, I was never on the Kathleen Turner bandwagon, just a pinch before my time. Just a pinch.
You dodged the bullet.
Well, look,
I figured as much.
A future bullet.
You're a pre-K, Darren, back then, so we understand.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think that's going to pretty much do it. We've talked a little bit about prospecting. We've talked. We did the Super Sidekick Smackdown, where Oracle did take the crown. She is the official winner, 100%.
Mecha Moth Oracle.
Yep.
Barbara Gordon.
Using the Mecha Moth with Arthur and then disposing of his remains unceremoniously.
Is the queen.
Yep. Oracle's the winner, guys. She's the #1 sidekick of all sidekicks. This is crazy, and I love it.
Are you happy, Maria? Tell us, Maria, or how happy are you of this victory?
She's probably pretty happy. But I think that's it. So please, guys, we are on so many podcast platforms now. We are on iHeartRadio is a big one. I know Darren was super excited to hear about. Kevin,
SoundCloud.
Kevin, yeah, we're on SoundCloud. Jared, what else?
Frankenberry and Booberry and
Couch. Oh, wonderful.
Yep, you can find us in the cereal boxes.
Wonderful.
Now, one of the
Cracker Jack boxes too.
I don't really want to talk about what platforms we're on because clearly they have already found us on this platform.
Yeah.
Is that wrong of me to assume that they're just going to come here?
To YouTube Live? Yeah.
Yes.
They're not coming here.
Good.
They're not coming here. They don't care about us on here.
The results are in, as they used to say on the Maury Povich show.
Yep. Yep,
Well,
they did.
Are not
The cool thing is, people, is now we can actually legitimately say that we might not see you, out in the street, but your local comic shops are opening, and we might just see you
at the luscious, precious, sweet, and lovely
Comic shop.